Hey folks, back again with more ancient cosmography. Let's see, so trying to figure out all the remaining avatars in this map. There's the 5,500-year-old Tomb 100 at Hierakonpolis, oldest painted Egyptian tomb, arguably the oldest pharaonic tomb or proto-pharaonic tomb in Egypt. So, I think it's like this is South America, this is North America, this is Antarctica, this is Africa, this is Asia. So I finally last, or maybe it was this year, either this year or at the end of last year, I started trying to identify all these all the avatars on here, all the little Pokemons, which all seem to represent islands. So I got most of them, I think. Got at least half, I think. I got Britain, Ireland, Shetland, Faroes, Azores, Madeira, Bahamas, Cuba, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Trinidad, and Guinea-Bissau Islands, and the Falklands, and the I forget what that one's called. Anyway, so a lot of these I've pretty conclusively identified, but a lot of them are very stylized, so it's not obvious like it was in like the Book of Two Ways of Seppi, where they really make the avatars look the exact same shape as the island. In this they just kind of, I don't know, it's more stylized. It's like some aspect of the avatar will match, especially with the islands. But so, I was looking around the northern part of this, and like up here, there's those two, what maybe I was thinking they're bears, two bears. And they may even match with Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. So it could be that a lot, because I think like these islands, like Shumshu and Paramushir and Iki and Tsushima, are matching with Isis, or Venus, the planet. So a lot of this does probably relate to the sky, but it's hard to be totally sure because this is pre-hieroglyphs, so we don't really have any contemporary description of it per se. So yeah, like basically I was just toying around, so I thought, there's at least a chance that these are the bears. These are like islands in the Arctic Sea, and so the Arctic Sea is like west of Greenland, and I mean technically this one is right up against Russia, basically up against the coast of Russia, which kind of makes sense because that's how it's depicted. Is right up against the coast. And then this one is further back. So I'm not entirely sure if these are the right islands, but it matches in certain ways, that this, has kind of somewhat pointy, thin nose there. And maybe these two ears are like these two little islands there. Who knows? And then maybe one of these legs could be this weird long island there. Or this one over here. I don't know. Hard to know. And it's hard to know what it looks like under the snow. That might clarify it. And then this one is further into the Arctic, and so it would be like that. This is the wider head, and I mean, it does look like you can maybe see these two little kind of squarish ears or something there that just end in a kind of abrupt way. And that this one, it's focused on having very, it's like a bigger body potentially with legs going further down, especially the back legs. So that could be this could somehow represent the back legs going way down like that. And then this could maybe represent the two front legs going down. And, maybe the tail is somehow this, or, the tail on this one, it could be zoomed in on, like, there's a little part there that's kind of like that, or, who knows. Yeah. So, possibilities. So the one near Russia is like Severnaya Zemlya in the Laptev Sea. So it has Komsomolets Island, Pioneer Island, October Revolution Island, and Bolshevik Island. So the Bolshevik Island would be the head. Schmid Island, I'm not sure if it's involved, if it's connected to the tail or not. And these other ones are Svalbard, Barentsburg, Longyearbyen, Buena. All right, so yeah, I guess that's the names. And then, see, I was just Googling zoomorphic maps just to see, like, sometimes people probably might just think I'm just random for thinking that maps could be made like resembling an animal, but actually it's, a very well known by people who actually know. People who actually know about history and the history of cartography are well aware that zoomorphic maps have always been a thing. So this is a zoomorphic map. I'm not even sure what it's of, but yeah, something. Some kind of landmass. And there's an anthropomorphic map of Mediterranean. There's Italy with the boot, and like Anatolia here, and Greece, and so I guess this is a face, which is basically Iberia altogether with the hair. And then this one is basically Morocco. And yeah. So, you know, it's a normal thing. It might not seem normal to us in modern times, but it should honestly even to us, because I've seen modern zoomorphic and anthropomorphic maps many times throughout my life, and it's not like I've been a map, you know, connoisseur or had any extra, you know, like even as a kid, I think I saw zoomorphic and anthropomorphic maps sometimes. And just anthropomorphic and zoomorphic representations of constellations and other things. You know, here's a historic zoomorphic map of Asia. So here's Anatolia, here's Greece, here's Egypt. Well, they they shrunk down Arabia into just being. I mean, they were basically shrunk everything, right? Tartaria. So this is like Siberia. And India. Yeah. So anyway, just showing that this is not something I just made up. This is a real practice that has always been used. So I was thinking that it could be that the that the spear going through Australia, you know, the point of it seems to be these islands here, but the hilt of it or whatever coming out there might be might just be this peninsula. Yeah, that's my best guess. Because it's like right there. So that could be, you know, because they zoom in on these things, so that could represent the hilt. Or I mean, is the hilt the name for it, or the whatever, just the base of it, the other side of the spear. You know, it's like basically this. So here's what seems to be the tail, and then here's that little peninsula right there. So maybe that's what's meant by having the tail right next to that. Or it could be that that's somehow subsumed into the tail. Hard to know for sure. It was interesting that it turned out that this painting was in, you know, this painting is in a little side section of Lascaux, and looking at the layout of Lascaux, you know, the Lascaux caves. So this is the Hall of the Bulls, axial gallery, yada yada, and then this is the, well, anyway, I'm pretty sure it's here. Great Fissure Shaft. So yeah, it's like the shaft scene is the Australian one. So it could, so my guess is that either the Hall of the Bulls is Afro-Eurasia, and then this is just kind of like the kind of just the area around Australia. And then this this chamber of the felines or whatnot down here would be America, probably. Yeah, my guess is either this or this represents America and the other one represents Afro-Eurasia. But it's hard to flesh out the rest of it because they just have a bunch of animals crammed together, which could represent the mainland of these things. But see, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out these southern ones, the southern avatars and Pokemons around here. So this, this one looks like it could be Sri Lanka here off the Indian coast, and then they have this little part which is this, and the separated head which is Jaffna. And but it's hard to be 100% on some of these. Like, I mean, there's a good chance that is what it is, but this one would be this, maybe Kerguelen Islands with like this part and like this, I guess either a leg or a tail or something, and just a lot of the details of this seem to line up. This is right there, seems to be Madagascar, or seems like it might be Madagascar.